What up, people? Welcome to the MySpace Effect, building influence and impact. I'm your host, Herschel Peters. Thank you for joining me for episode number 25. Yeah, episode number 25. I'm excited about that. And I'm actually appreciative of everybody that's been supportive and tuning in and much more. It means a lot to you, boy. To be doing this almost half a year is crazy. Life has been flying. This year, time has been flying as a whole. Life has too. Man, it's something else. However, tonight I want to talk about a subject or a topic that is great. I see it happening in relationships, business, most importantly in leadership. And it's something I'm just like, you know what? I need to take time and really talk about. And that is a thing called avoidance. Avoidance. I look at it as the most expensive form of peace. See, avoidance doesn't remove pressure. It just transfers it to one's future, and it tacks on interest. That's what it can do. So that's something I want to talk about tonight. So y'all already know what time it is. Let's get it.
This is the MySpace Effect, where identity meets influence, depth over distraction, and becoming who you're called to be outweighs chasing attention. Hosted by Herschel M. Peters. Let's get into it.
A lot of us aren't lazy. Many of us are just avoiding. Now, don't get avoidance, laziness confused with procrastination. Sometimes with avoidance is easy because it doesn't look reckless at first. If anything, it looks responsible. It can look like, you know what? My silence is really me being mature. That's what it is. Delay can feel wise. Just using wisdom. That's all I'm doing. Distance can feel like peace. Listen, I'm good. Everything seems okay. But as I shared before, avoidance doesn't remove the pressure. It transfers it to the future with interest. So the question is, one should ask, why does avoidance feel so safe? Why does it? That's because ultimately it can be rationalized as self-protection, not necessarily rebellion. In many cases, for a lot of people, it masquerades itself as, I'm just waiting on clarity. Yeah, just waiting on clarity. I'm choosing peace. That's what I'm choosing. I'm choosing peace. Get out my face. Now is not the right time. And see, even with that, many people don't avoid because they don't care. Sometimes people avoid because they care deeply. I want to shift the paradigm, the perspective of this thing, because avoidance isn't weakness. Really, it's fear without language. What you avoid today becomes anxiety tomorrow, becomes stagnation next year. And in some capacity, it becomes regret long term. I have witnessed it. People think that you can thrive and build on things having avoidance part of the fabric and the foundations of something. That's not possible. The reason why it's not possible is because pressure doesn't disappear. It waits and it grows. Here's a couple examples that I've seen over the years that I think will be relatable in a general sense to you, and others who's watching this. Avoided conversations. Oh, that's huge. That's real huge. Avoided decisions. I don't want to deal with all that right now. Avoided healing. Now I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. Avoided obedience. I'm mentioning all these things because we have to draw a distinction between avoidance and discernment. This is critical because once one can get this distinction, it really can not only prevent misinterpretation, but it can really increase and deepens one's maturity, which is ability, which is so important. See, discernment delays with intention. However, avoidance delays with fear. Discernment asks, what's required of me here? What is it that I need to do? And on the contrary, avoidance asks, how can I not feel this right now? Not every delay is wisdom. Some delays are depth. Now, this is huge. This is huge. That's why I'm trying to take my time with this, because this is something that is going on right now in so many different capacities, and it is masked and covered as functionality, while forgetting the whole point that not every delay is wisdom. Some delays are debt. Yeah, huge debt. That is why, as leaders, we have to learn how to respond accordingly, because sometimes pressure from something is not always punishment. In many capacity, it can be proof. Here's some takeaways I want to give you pertaining to the distinction between that pressure that is at hand, that pushes and causes people to want to avoid things. See, pressure often increases after alignment, not before it. Sometimes when things are getting in order, or there's a call for things to get in order, you'll feel some pressure. Yeah, you'll feel some pressure. And doing right about it doesn't always remove the difficulty. It just removes the confusion from it. That's why I talked about a couple episodes ago about how capacity reveals responsibility. Because, see, pressure is often evidence that you're trusted with more. Ever thought about that? You've outgrown avoidance. One's season has shifted. That's a way to look at it. That's a way to look at it. And that's why, as a leader, it's imperative to really examine and look in the mirror and ask ourselves some questions pertaining to this. What conversation am I postponing? What decision am I delaying? What version of myself am I protecting that I've already outgrown? See, if you don't deal with this today, you'll pay for it tomorrow with interest. One thing about it is you have to realize this. I want to encourage you. You're not behind. You're not weak. You're just standing at the door that requires courage. Goodness without courage is worthless. Some can look at that from a biblical capacity and say faith without works is dead. If you want to do good, you got to have courage. Without it, it's worthless. See, avoidance feels like peace at first. It does. Because it lowers the noise, settles down. It can buy you some time. But see, the reality is that what it really does is it just moves the pressure down the road. And a huge reality check, that pressure never disappears. It waits, it grows, and it always collects. So this is not about shame, it's just about being honest. Because nobody can ever change or bring about change without being honest. A lot of the things that we're avoiding isn't here to break us. It's just here to reveal who we truly are. And if one has been feeling the pressure, it's not punishment, it's proof that you have the capacity. Proof that the season you're in has shifted. Proof that avoidance no longer fits who you're becoming. So don't ask how to escape. Don't ask how to run, how to get out of the pressure. Ask, what is it trying to produce? What is the call? What's calling me? What do I need to answer to? Because while avoidance can feel like peace, obedience is the only thing that actually brings rest. This is the MySpace Effect with yours truly, Herschel and Peters. Remember, capacity always reveals responsibility. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
If this added value, share it. If it challenged you, sit with it. And remember, the assignment is you.